guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are doing another installment in the Shop My Stash series. However, for today's video, I want to focus on either new makeup or samples because I've organized my drawers and I have a whole lot of complexion samples that I need to use up. So that is today's focus. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. All right, guys, this video was inspired first and foremost by this Laura Mercier eyeshadow stick. It's called Turquoise. This is one of the new ones that came out, I think last month, and it just looks so pretty. So I thought this could be fun to play with today. And I'm really excited to see how this wears because I have another shade that I picked up at the same time. This raspberry color, and the color itself is really pretty. However, this one here, when I wear it on my eyes, it creases so much. So I'm hoping that this one does not. So this here. And then I also have some new eyebrow products over here. So this is the Chanel Crayon Sourcil. I've used it a few times already, but I haven't used it on camera. So we're gonna go ahead and use this in the shade Brun Cendré. And I also got a little sample of this Glossier Boy Brow right here. So we're gonna go ahead and use this too. So for the complexion, I went ahead and reorganized this right here. This is just all samples of foundation. So we have foundation, tinted moisturizer, etc. I have this Laura Mercier tinted moisturizer. I have a few samples of the Estee Lauder Double Wear Light. I have the Hourglass Vanish foundation. And the Pat McGrath Sublime foundation, is that what it's called? So this is the Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. I also have some samples of primers here. I have this Dermablend Instagrip Jelly Primer. I want to try this one today because I've heard really great things. But I also have this Dr. Jart Priming Moisturizer. So this is a yes for sure. So I also have this sample of the Chanel Ultra Latin Velvet, which I know that I love, so I'm not going to try it today. And then, I have a few of these NARS Sheer Glow Foundation samples too. Since the eye look is going to be quite bold, I'm going to go ahead and skip the tinted moisturizer for today because I think this is more for a natural look. So I think for today, I'm going to go ahead and use the Hourglass Vanish foundation because the coverage is going to be a bit more than the Pat McGrath one. And again, this eye look is going to be pretty bold. So let's use something a bit more covering. So down here, I have some more samples. This is just a perfume that I want to make sure that I try out so I can test this out today. This is the Jo Malone English Pear and Frisia Cologne. And then what I can do is I have a sample here of the Pat McGrath Fetish Eyes Mascara. Now I have tried a sample in the past, but let's go ahead and just try it on camera with you guys. So for the concealer, I do not have a sample. So I'll just go ahead and use this NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer. And for the lips, I want something quite nude. So what I'll do is mix this Chanel lip pencil here, number 172 Bois de Rose, and mix it in with this Lisa Eldridge Velvet Fawn Nude Lipstick. Now I do need a few more complexion items. I'm gonna go ahead and use this blush here simply because it is technically a sample size and I have gotten it fairly recently, so this still falls in our category. And then I will use this Givenchy Healthy Glow Powder number 3. It's just a really gorgeous bronzer. And then for the highlighter, this is the newest one that I have. It's from Dior. It's part of the spring collection. And it is called Glow Vibes. And this is the 002 Coral Vibes. So I did try to stick to items that are either new to me, or samples. So let's go ahead and create a look. The first step I want to do is the primer. This is the Dermablend Instagrip Jelly Primer. I've heard a lot about this. This is basically supposed to help your makeup stick to your face. Apparently it has a very sticky texture. But the texture is clear. It just looks like a clear, transparent jelly. Let's go ahead and apply. Oh wow, it's really sticky immediately. Okay, just applying this. So as you're applying it, it feels a little bit thick, and now it just feels very sticky and tacky. So there were in fact some instructions on the back here. So it says to apply the product and then wait 30 seconds before applying your foundation, which is fine because I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyes first anyway. Let's go in and do our eyebrows because I have a hard time doing my makeup if my eyebrows aren't done. So I'm going into this Chanel Sourcil brow product here in the shade Brun Cendré number 40. So I haven't used a brow product that sharpens in a very long time. I'm used to the ones that twist up, you know, but I've been meaning to try this one here because I've heard a lot of great things. So first of all, it's very smooth. You barely put any pressure on and you can get the color that you want. And I think this number 40 is the right shade for me. So then I'm gonna go ahead and use this Boy Brow from Glossier. And this is just a clear brow gel, and I love the size of this. I love a brow gel that's super small. I really don't understand why they make brow gels that are the same size as a mascara. And then this is not at all in the category of new or samples, but this is the NARS eyeshadow primer. This is just the primer that I use for every single eyeshadow look, so today's no exception. Okay, let's dive into this Laura Mercier Caviar eyeshadow stick. Again, this is the shade called Turquoise. So far, I feel like this is blending better than the raspberry color. I'm very pleasantly surprised. Let's go ahead and use this as an eyeliner as well. Let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit here and then do the foundation. I really don't know why, but this one seems to be blending much better than the raspberry shade. The raspberry shade on my lids, it felt sticky almost, and this one doesn't. Okay, now let's go into this Hourglass Vanish foundation. I'm gonna go ahead and use the shade called Nude. I'm going in with a sponge. Okay, I'm not sure if this is the perfect color match, but it is a sample, so. I feel like this doesn't blend into the skin as seamlessly as my other foundations. I'm not certain if this is the foundation or the primer that I used beforehand. I think this foundation shade might be a little bit too yellow on me, but it's not terrible. I think it still works. And then the concealer is the NARS Creamy Radiant in medium 1 custard. Okay, let's finish up the face with some bronzer. This is the Givenchy Healthy Glow Bronzer number 3. And then the blush is this NARS Orgasm Blush. And then for the highlighter, this is the Dior Coral Vibes highlighter. So I know I forgot to pull this out when I was looking at my collection, but the Chanel Stylo Yeux number 946 Intense Teal, I think is going to be perfect with this because it's a nice dark teal color and I think it'll match really well with this eyeshadow. So as I'm going, I'm noticing that this blue shadow is also creasing. This is what I noticed with the raspberry shade, is that it would just crease together and settle in the crease. And you guys watched me apply eyeshadow primer. I don't understand why these eyeshadow sticks want to move around so much, you know? It's really frustrating because I find the color is very pretty, but the look isn't, because as I'm talking, every time that I move or blink, if my eyelids touch, then the color kind of sticks together and separates, and it doesn't look as bad as the raspberry color somehow, but it's still like, ugh, I would not recommend this eyeshadow stick, and it's really disappointing, especially for a blue. It's so fun and festive for, you know, the warmer months, hopefully, but it's really frustrating. In the last video that I did with the Laura Mercier eyeshadow sticks, someone recommended that I apply a shadow powder over top, so I'm gonna go ahead and try that. I'm gonna go into my Chanel Le Neuf Ombre number 1 Afresco. So there is a blue shadow here. Hopefully this will help it not stick. Let's just finish up the lips while this does its thing. So this is the Chanel Crayon Lèvres, and then I have the Lisa Eldridge Velvet Fawn Nude Lipstick. Okay, so finished look. Let's do a little roundup. So the eyes, I really wish these Laura Mercier caviar sticks worked better on me. I don't understand why they're sticking so much. This one does not feel as sticky as the raspberry color, but it's still creasing, and the point of a shadow stick is to have something simple that you can just blend and go. If I have to use a eyeshadow powder from a different brand to finish the look, that kind of defeats the purpose for me. The brow products I like, I think they're great. As far as the complexion, you know, I think I made a mistake in trying a new primer with a new foundation. I won't do that in the future because when I was blending out this foundation, it really took work to blend into the skin, and that could be for two reasons. It could be because I was pairing it with a type of primer that is very sticky and grippy, and it could also be because this foundation is more full coverage, and a full coverage foundation does not blend seamlessly into the skin, so that could be it. Hello, it's me from the future while editing. So first of all, the eyeshadow here feels sticky, and it has transferred, not as terribly as the raspberry color, but still not great. Also, this foundation, I don't know why, but it's completely gone from my chin. Don't know what that's about. And also here around my mouth, it looks super dry. So overall, not a great makeup day, but I wanted to give you guys those updates. I think the blush and highlighter duo work well together, as well as the lip combination that I picked. I almost forgot the perfume that I picked out. This is the Jo Malone English Pear and Freesia. So this perfume is very light and fresh. I find this is quite a subtle perfume. It doesn't take up too much space. It's really quite lovely. So I do feel like this eye look is really pretty. I do like blue eyeshadow. I just wished that the shadow stick performed better. I don't know how I feel about this look. Like, I think it looks very nice, but the products, not all of them performed exactly how I expected them to. I guess when it comes to tutorials, you win some and you lose some. But overall, I think this about does it for my video. Thank you for coming along for the Shop My Stash, where I try a bunch of samples or new items. It went so-so. I mean, again, overall, I think it looks good altogether. I just feel like when I analyze the separate parts, I'm just a bit more critical because, I don't know, I've tried a lot of makeup and I expect it to perform a certain way. But again, with this foundation from Hourglass, it could be the fact that it's more of a high coverage foundation and I tend to go towards more light medium. But I felt like with a blue eye, I wanted more of a more covering foundation for some reason. Anyway, let me know down below what you guys think of today's video. What do you think of the Shop My Stash using samples and new items? Do you mix new items together, like a new primer and a new foundation? I don't think I'll be doing that in the future. I think I've learned my lesson. Normally I don't. Normally when I try a new foundation or a new primer, I stick to the same routine, but for the video, I thought, oh, I'll just try a bunch of new things at the same time, which I think was a mistake. If you are new to my channel, I post nothing but luxury makeup. I do lots of reviews and tutorials. Whenever I get a new collection, I will create several different looks with the same items. So if that interests you, please like, comment, and also subscribe. And on that note, I think this is all I have for you guys for today. So thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.